Hello, this presentation is brought to you by 3 graduate students studying Industrial Organizational Psychology at California Baptist University. The topic we will be discussing is how to conduct a job analysis. The goals for this presentation include introducing what a job analysis is and the different types of methods you can take to perform one. We will be performing an analysis through observation via some wonderful footage curated with the help of YouTube, and then reporting the end product, which is an overall job description of the position. It is important for a company to preserve the integrity of a position by maintaining up-to-date understandings about its positions. To do this, the company should conduct a job analysis on its positions periodically. A job analysis can be defined as a wide variety of systematic procedures for examining, documenting, and drawing inferences about work activities, worker attributes, and work context. It is the steps a company can take to fully understand each position in its organization. When employees have a clarity of the roles, it decreases confusion and allows for employees to perform their jobs accurately. When employees are doing their jobs well, efficiently, and precisely, it improves the entire work environment. There are different methods or strategies an analyst can use to undergo a job analysis. The first we will mention is the observational method. This entails physically observing an incumbent of a position during their work time. A researcher will usually go to an incumbent's space of work and mark down all tasks observed and tasks not required. This type of method can also be conducted using a videotape or audio tape for positions, like we will be doing in our analysis. An analyst can ask the incumbent questions to gain a better understanding of their role. This can be done in a one-on-one interview or a group interview setting. Questionnaires can be given to the employee. This may help provide a foundation for the employee to begin their own assessment and communication of the position. If an organization has records or documents including performance appraisals or reports of internal audits or even prior job descriptions, all of this information can help in the analysis of a position. The last method that will be mentioned here is actually doing the work. Another option analysts have is to actually perform the tasks and duties themselves. This type of analysis should be reserved for positions where mistakes are not critical. For instance, one would not use this method for conducting an analysis for a brain surgeon position. For our job analysis, we're going to observe Sergio Ramos to come up with a job description for central defender. Sergio Ramos is a central defender for Real Madrid and has been on the team since 2005. Sergio began his professional career at the age of 14 and has 19 years of professional experience. To delve deeper into the observational assessment, here is Douglas.
After playing a full 90-minute match, Real Madrid had been down all game. As captain of the team, Ramos, a central defender, was in charge of leading the attack starting from the back. Real Madrid had been countering for over 20 minutes and pushing Atletico de Madrid all the way back. And with only 2 minutes left in the game, Ramos was able to header the corner kick into the back of the opposition's net, sending the game into extra time. The header in Lisbon arrived after 92 minutes and 48 seconds and helped Madrid secure something the club had been seeking for more than a decade: La Decima. Sergio Ramos has shown time and time again that he, perhaps more than anyone else at Real Madrid, is the man for the big occasion. Ramos was there. He often is. With Real Madrid trailing and seconds ticking away, Coach Zinedine Zidane had instructed his skipper to push forward, and the decision reaped reward right at the death. I told Ramos to push up a little bit towards the end, and he was exactly where he needed to be, Zinedine said. He is our captain. He is an important player, and he always makes the difference. Defenders need good heading ability in order to defend from aerial passes, crosses, and set pieces. They should be able to head the ball far and wide in order to remove it from dangerous opportunities. Ramos isn't only lethal with his head when defending. Real Madrid are lucky to have found a defender with the heart of an attacker, as more than half of Ramos' goals have been scored with his head from set pieces, the way in which most center backs manage to find their way onto the scoresheet. He has also scored a lot of goals that contradict his defensive position, such as those from direct free kicks to overhead kicks. He definitely possesses true goal-scoring talent, and he knows it. Soccer is a sport where it is absolutely necessary to have great flexibility, especially when it's just you, the defender, versus the opposition. Special tricks like this can mean the difference between winning and losing. Adaptability is also a key to a great defender. Sometimes you might just have to do the goalie's job. As you can see here, they even have him training as an actual goalkeeper. No wonder Sergio Ramos is known as a man of many talents and can be recognized as one of the best, if not the best, central defender known to date. Ramos is also known as the cold-blooded penalty taker. If he's about to take a penalty against your team, there's an 82% chance that he'll score. If he's taking it for Real Madrid rather than for Spain, then that chances rises to 92%. Nowadays, there's a 100% chance that his technique will be identical. 6 steps back, 1 to his left, right foot either dragged or cocked back just before it stamps down and he launches the ball from the penalty spot. 4 times from 9 penalties this season, the Real Madrid captain with iron cast nerves has chipped the keepers. And now, to bring everything together with the job description, I'm passing it over to Jay.
So one of the great things that may stem from conducting a job analysis is the ability to create a job description. So simply put, a job description is the outline used by both the employer and the employee that details that employee's tasks, responsibilities, and a host of other various information that is vital for both parties to know. In our case, we used an observational type of job analysis to create a job description for the observed player. So as we built out a job description from scratch, the first piece of information that we would need is a title for the position. From our observation, we found that the player we were observing was primarily used as a central defender more towards the middle of the field. In soccer, this position is usually called a central defender, so we will keep that title and label this position in our job description as a central defender. After we have titled our position, we can view the current landscape of other clubs to see exactly how much they are paying players of the same position. In our case, we found that players playing that central defender role signed contracts that pay around $10 million annually. With this knowledge, we can create a salary range to keep us competitive with other clubs looking for the same type of player. And in moving on to our next section, we can now build out a job summary, which provides a brief definition of the job as well as any distinguishing characteristics of that position. So through a observational job analysis, we found that the principal role of a player in this position is to prevent the opposing club from scoring goals. A secondary role of this position is to sometimes generate offense for the club via strategic passing, assist to other players, and to score goals when presented that opportunity. A distinguishing characteristic of the player that we have observed is that he has been bestowed the position of a leader and being made captain of his club. This captaincy qualification should be noted within the job description as it is a additional responsibility that lays outside of the traditional central defender role. The next section of the job description notes the essential functions of this job and where the usage of an observational job analysis really shines. So in this section, we discuss in more detail what the individual does in his or her role within the position. And from our observational job analysis, we found that the player typically defends around or within the marked surrounding area of the goal to prevent any potential goals against their club. They have to physically block shots without the use of their hands or arms. They clear the ball away from the club's own goal. They have to make timely tackles against opposing players, making runs towards the club's goal. They need to intercept the opposing team's passes. They have to contest against crosses and headers aimed against the club's goal. They need to strategically defend against opposing clubs' set pieces. They have to dribble and distribute the ball in attacking scenarios. And finally, they have to operate as an additional attacker in those attacking scenarios. These essential functions are details what the person in this position will mostly be doing in their role And this will also be used as the criteria in which the individual will ultimately be evaluated from. So now let's move on to the final sections of our job description, in which we discuss the qualifications needed for this position, as well as the knowledge, skills, and abilities required for the role. Employers need to be aware of the type of qualifications needed by individuals to be successful within their position. So typical qualifications stem from potential employees' educational backgrounds and their professional histories. In this job description for the role of central defender, we found that there were no prior educational background required. However, professional history was quite stringent, in which the prior experience at a professional level was required. So the section highlighting the knowledge, skills, and abilities of an employee is one of the most fundamental aspects of any job description. It is here where the employer relays information to the employee on what the essential knowledge, skills, and abilities are needed by the employee to be successful. In this position of central defender, the players need to have knowledge of typical player positions and club functions, modern defensive and offensive club tactics in real time and from set pieces, rules and restrictions during the game, leadership and effective teamwork strategies. Skills needed by the player includes communicating effectively with teammates on the field, defend opposing players with or without the ball, pass and shoot the ball, and maintain a high fitness level throughout the season. And finally, the abilities of a player in this role is to accelerate and decelerate their running speed, use legs and feet to manipulate the ball, use their arms and hands to maneuver obstacles, and use head and body to stop and or launch the ball. And now with that, we have created a framework for a comprehensive job description using an observational job analysis. Through a job analysis, we were able to create a job description with sections including the job title, the salary range, summary, essential functions, qualifications, and knowledge, skills, and abilities.